Okay, so today I want to talk about what's going on with China and their alleged treatment of the Uyghurs. So, for those of you who don't know, the Chinese government has come under scrutiny recently over its alleged treatment of a Muslim minority group, the Uyghurs, in the Zhejiang province of northwestern China. It is currently estimated that up to 1 million Uyghurs have been detained in the last few years. These are in closed camps with high security that the government is calling re-education camps. Now, there are serious allegations being put forward, like forced sterilization against Uyghur women, indoctrination, mass incarceration, forced labor, destroying Uyghur cemeteries and cultural sites, and even organ harvesting and much more. If these allegations turn out to be true, then this is beyond deplorable, as it considers humans as chattel and makes a mockery of civilization. It is reminiscent of 1984. Now, the region itself where the Uyghurs come from is supposed to be autonomous, but like Tibet and other places such as Beijing, China's Communist Party is ever encroaching and basically being in people's business where it's not supposed to be. It is important to note that originally the Chinese government outright denied the existence of these camps. It was then claimed that this was necessary to curtail separatist or extremist violence in Zhejiang. They have also flat out denied forced labour, forced sterilisation and other allegations. Now, I don't know about you, but given China's alleged human rights violations in Beijing, their intrusive surveillance and social system, and the spyware that has been found on many Chinese apps, products, and even their 5G network, it's understandable the legitimacy of the concerns raised, for which China has given less than satisfactory and in some cases outright strange responses, as I will demonstrate a little later. So, what I'm saying is, China cannot simply put this up to a misunderstanding or a piece of propaganda. Now, many governments have come forward to condemn the actions, such as in July 2020, the UK Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab accused China of gross and egregious human rights abuses. And in a report detailing these allegations, he said these were reminiscent of something not seen for a long time. Now, for those of you who don't know what he's referring to, he is in fact talking about the Nazi concentration camps of World War II. This is where the Jews were persecuted, rounded up on trains, and put into camps. They were starved, forced to produce goods, and outright exterminated. These exterminations involved gas chambers and other means. A horrific and shameful past. It serves as a reminder of what unchecked power could do in a totalitarian regime. Also, the US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo urged all nations to join the United States in demanding an end to these dehumanizing abuses. Now, a lot of residents have come out from China to tell their stories, such as students from Zhejiang province saying how they were banned from practicing their religion. Like, for example, the month of fasting and how officials have been banned from attending mosques. Now, this isn't helped by the fact that in 2017, the president Xi Jinping issued a directive that basically stated religions must adhere to Chinese orientation and required that they adapt to a socialist society. And what this basically meant was that all their practices were curtailed and has led to an erosion of culture and human rights. This has, and was intended to, result in the loss of their own culture and a more or less complete indoctrination into the Chinese Communist Party's manifesto. Also, many human rights charities, including Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch, have long accused China and Beijing of mass imprisonment and torture. Worse, these charities have said, is a number of these inmates have not actually been charged with any crimes or even given any sort of legal representation, essentially making them kidnapped prisoners. Right, now I want to bring your attention to a recent interview on the BBC. Now, this interview was conducted by Andrew Marr, who's a well-respected journalist, and he had the Chinese ambassador to the UK on for an interview. Now, I won't go over the whole interview, just the parts that I think are important and emphasise the validity of the allegations and also shows China's handling of the situation. So, right from the get-go, we have footage that looks like something out of Schindler's List, which shows people on their knees being led into the train. Also, it's important to note the long silence before the ambassador responds, almost as though he himself doesn't know what to say. So, I'm not sure if anyone caught that, but the ambassador said, Zhejiang is the most beautiful place in Zhejiang. Clearly nervous and unsure of what to say. So, Andrew Marr's response here is quite brilliant, stating how it is not beautiful footage. Because who would, on seeing kneeling blindfolded men being led into trains, say how the city is the most beautiful place in the city? None of which makes any sense. Now, I'm not going to look at the rest of the video because it's essentially the ambassador just outright refusing any claims, but if you get a chance, I would recommend watching the video. So, I would say it's fair, based on this and other public officials of China denying the allegations, that the situation will only get worse. I want to make a quick note that officials from the Inter-Parliamentary Alliance on China, which is essentially an international cross-party group of politicians, have called on the UN to establish an international, impartial, independent investigation into the situation in the Zhejiang region. So this is currently the situation going on with China and the rest of the world. It is fair to say that these allegations present a grave danger to relations with the West and obviously to the Uyghurs themselves. My personal opinion is that this cannot and should not be allowed to continue. That the response of the West and other nations should highlight the gravity of the situation. Well, that's all I want to say for this video. If you guys have enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. If there's a video or topic you want me to cover, please leave it in the comments below and take care of yourselves.